In these problems, we're being asked to find the equations of lines, and we're being given 2 points. There are a couple different ways to do this, and I think I'll show you both. First of all, when you have 2 points, you can get the slope, and this is a necessary first step for either method that you choose. Remember, the slope is rise over run, and we can determine the rise by the difference of the y-coordinates. So I'm going to take the y-coordinate of the second point and then subtract the first point, and do the same for the x-coordinates to get run. So that's 5 minus 3. So negative 9 minus 1 is a negative 10. 5 minus 3 is 2. So that is a slope of negative 5. All right, so we have our slope. I'll put it over here. M equals negative 5. Now, what we need to do is use something called the point-slope form. This form will give you the equation of a line if you have the slope and you have a point that's anywhere on the line. We've got 2 points on the line, so let's just use this 1, 3, 1. The point-slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The x1 and the y1, those are the x and the y values from our point. M, that's the slope, that's what we just figured out. So all we have to do is plug those numbers in, and then they want the slope-intercept form, so we'll have to maybe do a little bit of algebra to put it in that form. But let's plug these numbers in first. So y minus the y-coordinate of our point would be y minus 1. M, that's our slope, that's negative 5. And then we have x minus x1, that's our x-coordinate, so minus 3. Okay, we've got all the numbers in. I guess what we need to do is distribute this 5. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. I'm going to have y minus 1 on this side, and then negative 5x, and negative 5 times negative 3 is a positive 15. And now all I have to do to get y alone, to put it in slope-intercept form, is just get rid of this negative 1. So I'll add 1 to both sides, and we get y equals negative 5x plus 16. And that is our answer. Let's try another. So this one says, give the equation of the line that contains negative 9, 7 and 5, 7. And we could go through that whole thing, figure out the slope, put it in point-slope form, etc. There's something funky going on with this one, though. Look, the y is the same on those 2 points. If you're given 2 points of a line where the y is the same, what that means is it's a horizontal line. In this case, it's a horizontal line at y equals 7. If it goes through negative 9, 7 and 5, 7, it has to go through every other point where y equals 7. The slope of this thing is 0. It never changes. So if we were going to put y equals mx plus b, well, the slope is 0, so m is 0, which means it would be 0 times x. That's going to disappear. The only thing that's going to be left is the y-intercept, and we know where that is. It crosses the y-axis at 7, because that's where it stays on the y forever, at 7. So this whole thing is actually just y equals 7. So if you see 2 points where the y-coordinate is the same, your line is just going to be y equals that number. So a little shortcut there. Let's try one more. Okay, this one says find the standard form of the equation, so that's a little different, of the line that passes through those points. And we're going to start by finding the slope. So the rise here is negative 4 minus a negative 6, and negative 4 from here minus a negative 5. Well, negative 4 minus a negative 6 is negative 4 plus 6, so that's 2. Negative 4 minus a negative 5 is negative 4 plus 5, that's 1. So our slope is 2. Now, instead of using the point-slope form, I'm going to show you a different method. I can write as much of the slope-intercept form as I know. So y equals mx plus b. Well, the m is 2, so I'll put that in. So y equals 2x. The only thing we're missing here is our y-intercept is the b. I can solve for b if I take these values here and plug them in for x and y. I think I'll take this point, the -4 and the -4. I'm going to put this value in for y and this value in for x. And I'll leave the plus b. Now I just have numbers and a b, so I can solve this for b and then come back and fill it in up here once I solve it. So let's simplify this. 2 times -4 is -8. So let's see, to get b alone, I'd need to add 8 to both sides. So -4 plus 8 is 4. It looks like b equals 4. So up here, where I've got y equals 2x plus b, that becomes y equals 2x plus 4. And that is not exactly our solution yet, because they said they wanted the standard form. The standard form of this equation would have the x and the y on one side and the number on the other side. So I just need to do a little rearranging. I think I'm going to subtract y from both sides and subtract 4 from both sides. If I do that little hocus pocus, I would get a -4 over here and a 2x minus y over here. And if I needed to, I could just flip that around and write it as 2x minus y equals -4. But there's the standard form of the equation. So that's a little bit of work with finding the equations of lines when you're given 2 points.